Hi, we are going to continue with our learning on graphs. So today we'll basically touch a little bit more about comparing the various graphs that we have learned, and also how to go about completing a dot plot. Let's move on. So on this page, page 138, at the beginning, you are given four different type of graphs, namely dot plot, pie chart, column graph, and picture graph. So these four graphs actually show us the different ways $1,200 of family income is spent in the area of tax, food, mortgage, clothing, bills, and entertainment. So, what are the advantages of using a dot plot, pie chart, column graph, and picture graph? Let's talk about it. Okay, for dot plot, very clear cut, very easy to count, isn't it? And it's small to moderate size data set, so only can allow us to have a small to moderate, means you cannot have so many different components. Okay, so it's easy to locate the outliers. Outliers will be things that are far off from the middle. So things that are too extreme, we call it the outliers. Pie chart, that's something that we touched on during our last lesson. I've shown you how to go about creating a pie chart. So the good thing is display relative proportion, so you can see by the size of the sector which one has the largest, which one is the smallest. Okay, it summarize a large data set, so even you have many different information from the overall view of the pie. You'll be able to see which one has the biggest portion, which one smallest portion, so on and so forth. And of course, visually simpler than other graphs. It's much easier to see, and it's colorful too. Okay, column graph, that's my favorite, because column graph can be easily understood. Again, you can see which one has the highest, which one is the lowest. Can always make the difference. You can always find the numbers easily. Values are easily to read off. What about picture graph? Visually appealing. It's nice to have a picture there, isn't it? But honestly, picture graphs is actually more for the lower level. When kids have difficulty understanding, other skills required for graphs. And the thing is, you need to do some simple calculation, because usually there is a legend to tell you one picture represent how much. So for this case, is each picture represent $100. So now with all this information, okay, you will need to answer this question. It's like, which graph do you think is good for an overall picture of the amount spent? Which graph is best for quickly reading off for accurate amount? So I have given you some information already. So you need to put in the answer, and then we can of course discuss during our next lesson. So, and question 11, you're talking about giving examples for what type of graphs that could be used in presenting data. So what's the when do we use a column graph, when do we use a picture graph, when do we use a dot plot, and when do we use a pie chart? Okay, think through carefully. Maybe you want to brainstorm with your friends, and then come up with a good solution. Okay, next part. Next page is on dot plot. Okay, what is a dot plot? Dot plots are types of graph in which scores are represented by dots placing along a number line. Okay, things to take note: the number line, it must be equally spaced. Can you see equally spaced? And the dots must also be equally spaced. Can you see that? Okay, things to take note. Okay, you got to be equally spaced, so that you can actually compare the information easily. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how to go about completing this part. This what did I do? What did I do? Okay, let's come back to this. Let me get rid of the dots. Okay, let me get rid of this first. So now we're going to put in the dots accordingly. So let's see how this can be done. So for example, the first one is 315. So the first one is here. Remember, it must be equal space. So 315 is somewhere around here. Put a dot. Then you cancel it off because you've done it. 315. Okay, and then 240, somewhere around here. 365, somewhere around here. Cancel it off. 140 is here. Stroke it off. 340 is somewhere around here. Stroke it off. 590 is somewhere around here. Stroke it off. So you continue doing it until you reach Spain. So a good skill is whenever you put on the dot, you cancel away, and then make sure you do a count. So there should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 18 dots. And eventually, when you complete this dot plot, there should be 18 dots. Okay, that's how you check that you have not missed any of the information. Okay, once that is done, you are supposed to answer this question. You know, what's the most popular price for a small pizza? How many countries actually charge $3.15, $3.40, $2.40? What is the difference between the most expensive and the cheapest pizza? Okay, and then from here, they say outliers are usually high or low scores. They lie outside the main cluster of score. So things that are in the center, you know, they're all clustered together. Things that are outside, we call that the outliers. Name the price that you consider to be outliers. There could be 1, 2, 3, or even 4. So look at the data set and write down the appropriate answers, okay? So that's all for today. And if you have any issue, drop me a note on Teams or drop me a direct message. If not, okay, bye-bye.